This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Wednesday, December 4th, 2024. I'm Alex Brown. Nonprofit mental health services provider Personal Counseling Services has launched a campaign to support a $3 million expansion that would include a new facility on its Clarksville campus. CEO Doug Drake says the new facility would allow the organization to serve an additional 250 people per week.
We've really grown and expanded, and we've gotten to the point where we're out of space where we are today. Prior to COVID, we would receive about 50 referrals a month, and in November, we had referrals of 331. So the new facility will help us to bridge that gap.
PCS has received a commitment for up to $1.5 million from Metro United Way in Louisville and aims to raise the rest by the end of 2025. Michigan-based Priority Health said Tuesday it has completed its acquisition of Physicians Health Plan of Northern Indiana in Fort Wayne. Financial terms of the deal, which closed on December 1st, are not being disclosed, though Priority said products and coverage are not expected to see any significant changes. The Ripley County Community Foundation is planning its inaugural film festival next June. Local filmmakers are encouraged to submit a short film by April 1st to be screened at two of the only remaining single-screen theaters in the area, the Gibson Theater in Batesville and the Dam Theater in Osgood. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, we'll dive into each region's unique challenges and distinct opportunities for growth. 9 regions, 1 goal. Indiana's bold future starts here. Discover more and register at ibj.com/engage.
When parents are worried about their child's development, they often face an additional stress, waiting months or even years for their child to be evaluated for autism. To give more kids access to evaluation, a team of Hoosier researchers is developing an eye tracking tool to diagnose autism.
The number of children who need an autism evaluation far outweighs the supply of specialists qualified to do the evaluations. The answer, says a team of IU School of Medicine and Purdue researchers, is arming primary care doctors with a simple but scientific tool to diagnose autism as accurately as specialists. The device they're developing is an eye tracking tool that analyzes a child's looking behavior and pupil diameter while watching special videos. Purdue Autism Research Center Associate Director Dr. Brandon Keene says the team currently uses a laptop to run the diagnostic test.
One of our next steps is to develop that device that's cheap, that's easy to use, and that can be used at scale in pediatricians' offices, measuring the same things that we measure with our research-grade eye tracker, but doing it in a way that is cheaper, easier to use, and relatively sort of automatic.
The researchers' goal is to commercialize the device. The team believes pediatricians using the device will be able to diagnose autism with the same accuracy as specialists, giving more kids access to evaluations. Kylie Valletta, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Agribusiness giant Cargill is laying off thousands of employees. Cargill confirmed this week that it would be reducing its global workforce by about 5%. In a statement to the Associated Press on Tuesday, the food production company said that the cuts were part of a long-term strategy to strengthen Cargill's impact, which includes realigning resources. In Indiana, Cargill has operations in Dana, Decatur, Hammond, Indianapolis, Lafayette, Linden, Milford, and Tipton, though it was not immediately clear how many employees work in Indiana or if any of them are being affected by the cuts. Girl Scouts of Central Indiana CEO Danielle Shockey is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.